Hey. Oh, I'm so excited. Hey, it's Auntie doing. I'm excited because this is my very first podcast. The name of this podcast is the Fabulous Lifestyle Movement. And the reason it's called the Fabulous Lifestyle Movement because it is a movement. We're on a move to try to get all the millennials, the 18 to 25-year-olds, to change that mindset from getting a job to starting a business. Now, let me just explain why I want to do this. See, ever since you were a little kid, they've always programmed us to go to school and get a job. That's always been the only thing that we've been taught. So we grow up and we get a job, but the job is never going to afford you that lifestyle that you want. And I don't even care if you have a job where you're making a lot of money, because when you have a job where you're making a lot of money, still not really going to afford you a lifestyle because I got to take this thing off my screen. Because you work for somebody else. It's not your rules. You got to ask. You got to have a certain amount of sick time. You can only be sick a certain amount of days. You can only go away on vacation for a certain amount of days. You can't be out. It's crazy. Only way to really get that fabulous lifestyle is if you go out and you work for yourself, start your own business. And my recommendation, especially for young kids to start a business, is to get involved in the network marketing industry. And I'm going to explain all of what I'm talking about, why I say this, because I think that the network marketing business is the easiest business for a person, anybody to get in. But not only is it easy, network marketing is actually training. It trains you from day one on running a business. There's no other place that you can really go to get that the kind of training. So I think that the best way to ramp up some real cash, even if you know, especially at 18 or 28, that might not be what you want to do for the rest of life, but you may have some kind of dream, some kind of passion, but you can't fulfill it because you don't have the finances to do it. Network marketing is a way to get you the finances quick, easy, and simple, and you can go out and start doing what it is that you want to do to live that passion of yours. Now, let me explain to you why I started doing this and why I started focusing on millennial. Because I'm 56 years old. I've lived a life where I've always desired to be an entrepreneur. Like as far back as I can remember, I hated working for people. I'm not really that good at working for people. I got laid off and fired plenty of times because I'm not that great at working with people. I don't like people, you know, like being under the control of people. But let me tell you how this all started. Before the industrial industry age, everybody had their own business. People grew their own food. They sold their food. We're supposed to create our own food. Go back to the Bible. The Bible tells us this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to create our own food. But there's a certain amount of people, these elite that kind of control the world. They wanted to control the food and they wanted to control the industry. But if everybody's working for themselves, they're not going to have anybody who works in their factories. So they created the public school system, because before they created the public school system, people were homeschooled, people worked, everybody had the entrepreneurial mind because that's all they seen. That's what they grew up with, entrepreneurial spirit or entrepreneurial mind. So everybody just created their own jobs. You had to. That's the only way to survive. So they had to change that mindset. So they created a public school system where they programmed you to be an employee. And how they always do it is they always make it seem like it's for your best interest. Like such a mind trip. It's crazy. But they have it so that you feel like this is the best thing for me. It's best for me to go to school, get an education so that I can get a job. And you feel like that's what you're supposed to do. And then it comes to when you do it so much, or so many generations of people do it, it just becomes the norm. It's just normal for people to do that. You know, it's just normal. You get a job, you go to school. You go to school, you get a job. That's it. But the reason they did it is so that you can work in their factories and create their wealth and create generational wealth for them and their family, where they can become the 1% and separate. But they have money up to here, and the regular working class people have money down here. We don't have any money. That's why it was created. So the public school system is really just a way of indoctrinating you into thinking a certain way. If you can control a man's mind, you can control his life. So they have you thinking that the best way to do is to get a job. But it's not. The only way you're going to live that fabulous life that you want to live is for you to understand how to start and create your own business. If I could take 18, that when people graduate from high school, I could take them and shake them and just shake out all of that programming out of their mind and teach them how to change their mindset and learn that getting a business is the only way you're going to really get that fabulous lifestyle is if you start working for yourself. Now, what happens is most of the time we get out of high school, we don't know what we're going to do. They pretty much give us three options. You can go to college, you go in the military, or you can get a job. Now, a lot of people get out of high school and go to college. I did that. I got out of high school, didn't have any plans of doing anything other than going to college. I loved school, so I loved to learn. So my plan was to go to college. Some people either can't afford college or they just sick and tired of school and they don't know what to do. So they have the option of going to the Army, or they have the option of getting a job. Some people say, well, I'm going to go in the Army because at least that's a career. So they go into the Army, or I'm sorry, they don't have to be the Army. It could be the Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, whatever, in a military, because that's programmed to us too. They want us in the military. So that's also its program. That's how come they have ROTC in high school. They have everything is kind of geared towards either college or the military, because they want you in either one of those places. Because if you go to college, they can continue with the brainwashing of getting a job. Now you get the people who got the better jobs. So not start their own, but there's people that can run the companies for the elite. So they want you to get an education, because they want to program you that way, or go to the military and work for the government, be completely owned by the government. You don't want to do any of those two, then you get the lesser, you get out and you go to get a job. And because you don't have any experience, you don't really know anything, the only kind of job you can get is minimum wage. You can go be a dishwasher at the Chinese restaurant. You could get a job at, if you have a car, you can get a job at delivering pizza, or work with Grubhub or DoorDash, or you could get a job at Walmart or Target, or become a waitress. Like these jobs that eventually really lead to nowhere, because you're going to always constantly be broke if you stay in that mindset. And then what happens is once you start getting that one job, you start thinking that that's the only experience you have. So every time when you get fired or laid off or quit that job, you'll go get another job similar to that. Like if you're a waitress, you work at IHOP, then if that don't work out, then you go over to Applebee's and get a job at Applebee's as a waitress. If that don't work out, then you go up to maybe a restaurant, or a more upscale restaurant. But that's the kind of mindset that you'll stay, and you'll always stay broke. You're not going to make a lot of money. Let me just say this. Right now, you need to make as much money as you can. Like, stack your cash, because we don't know the world is going crazy right now. So you don't know what's going to happen. So now you got to stack your cash. Now, let me explain to you why I say network marketing is the best possible thing to get in for pretty much anybody, because one, you can start, you're pretty much your own boss. You own your own business, but you're not in business by yourself, even though you're in business for yourself. You have a whole slew of people that help you with your business. They train you on it. They teach you what you have to do. Not only that, but the most important thing is the personal development that you get in these network marketing organizations. Personal development is the only difference between poor people and rich people. So you could take a person that's born rich. They could be the laziest person in the world. They could not want to do anything, but they'll be rich because they've been programmed from their parents, from their family, from their environment. They've been programmed to be rich. So there's nothing you can really do to make them poor. Like, unless you get them hooked on drugs and they go through their money. That's the only pretty much way you can make them poor. Whether they're lazy, do nothing, they're going to be rich because their mindset from birth has been programmed for them to be rich. You can take a poor person and it's going to be hard for them to struggle to become rich, because their mindset from birth has been to be poor. Oh, you can't afford that. Oh, there's no money. This is their mindset. So they're going to always have the mindset of somebody that's poor, that's being poor, because that's their mindset. So the thing about network marketing is they have personal development where they teach you and they train you to not think poor, not be poor. They change your whole mindset. They teach you how to think right thinking, right mindset. They teach you about affirmations. They teach you about just how to think money, how to grow a business. They train you in every conceivable way. Now, a lot of people have a misconception about the network marketing industry, and let me tell you why. It's the same reason they have the public school system. See, they know that if you get involved in network marketing, the sky's the limit. There's no limit in network marketing. Like, it's nobody saying you can't do this. It doesn't matter if you come from jail or from Yale. That's what one of my mentors always say. No matter if you come from jail or Yale, you can do network marketing. There's no experience necessary, no background. There's nothing that's gonna, nothing you could have done in the past can stop you. Only thing that can stop you from doing it is you. Now, a lot of people do get in network marketing. A lot of people fail. They crap out of it. They don't stick to it. And the reason why is because of their programming. Like, you have to work on your mindset. Work on your mindset. You can do this. And if you just make a resolve to never quit, I know kids, and I say kids because, like I said, I'm 56. These kids are like 21, 22, where they're making $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $200,000 a month. And the average kid is making $7 or $8 an hour, and which comes after taxes, they probably bring home $100, $200 a week, and maybe $400 a month. These people making $400,000 a month. So that's why I focus on that. Now, let me just tell you what another thing that I like to focus on. I focus on this thing called the PMS methodology. These are some things that we're going to be talking about over the course of this podcast. And the PMS methodology is passion, mindset, and strategy. If you understand how to develop a passion, mindset, and strategy for any kind of business, you can go and explode whatever it is that you have to do. So let me just give you a little history about me, about Auntie Dawn. Why I call myself Auntie Dawn? I call myself Auntie Dawn because I want to focus on the youth. I want to focus on the younger generation. My children are millennials, 18 to 25. So I want to give you the tools. I don't want you to end up like me. I don't want you 56 years old and sit and think about, now the fabulous lifestyle. I want you to have that while you're young, so that by the time you can make all this money in your network marketing business, and then you can live your passion. You can find something that you're really interested in doing. And you can still have residual money coming in for the rest of your life, as long as you still, you can do whatever you want. I want you to have that life, because with that life, you can help other people. When you're poor, you can't help anybody but yourself. But if you're making money, you are going to be driven to help other people. So if you have money, you can make the world a better place, because the people who have money, they're selfish. They make it appear that they're helping people, but in all actuality, everything they do is to help themselves. So we need some good people making good money so that we can bring good into the world. So that's my philosophy. I want to help people make money so we can bring good to the world with this money. Now, I grew up with parents who always instilled in me to get a job. Now, I was born with that entrepreneurial spirit, but it was always squashed from my parents. Like, girl, that's crazy. Just go get your education and get a job. Get your education, get a job, then you'll be secure for the rest of your life. I'm not going to take care of you for the rest of my life. You're going to have to go get a job, get an education, get a job. So that's what I did. I got an education and I got a job. But the job was, it was enough to pay my bills. It was enough for me to, party when I wanted to. It's enough for me to buy a car, get my own place, go on vacation once a year, hang out with my girls, that type of thing. But wasn't anything that let me live a fabulous lifestyle. Pretty much was, paycheck to paycheck. I just made enough to cover my bills and do little things that I wanted, and I had to wait for the next paycheck. They had no real savings, just enough to really live. And it was okay, because that's what we were programmed for, just to settle. But I always had this this entrepreneurial spirit. I always wanted to do certain things. And so I did things. I did things while I had a job. Like one point I started a promotion. I had a promotional business where we promoted parties in New York. We used to promote mail reviews, boat rides, concerts. We used to promote parties, just general First Fridays. I did that type of thing. And then I also had this. I think I had the very first podcast. To be honest with you, we didn't call it podcast back then. But I had an internet radio show. My husband used to be a DJ. And the DJs used to come on live and they would, DJ on the internet. It was this company called B-Town Sound. And I had a podcast every Thursday called How to Discover Your Life Purpose. I had a newsletter that I sent out to people. I had a little tribe of people on how to discover your life purpose. And I taught people how to discover their purpose and turn it into a career. And the reason I did it because I was always good at helping people find out what they should be doing. I mean, I've just always had that little knack where, let's say, for instance, my husband, I got him as DJ. He was, working a job, but he had this thing for music. He would listen to the radio. This was back in the 90s. He would listen to the radio. He would record it. And he used this little editing thing where he would somehow slice the commercials out and then put the songs together where it sounded like it was a mix. Like, so like he had DJ'd it. And I was like, man, that's a talent. How do you do that? So I started saying, you should really get into music, get into DJing. And then he decided to do it. And then got his equipment, he got into DJing. But it was not just, I remember this other friend of mine who worked, he was a bank teller. And he had this thing he always wanted to play the piano on a yacht. So I was like, well, you should do that. People have play piano at Christmas time at Macy's. People go on cruises. He had a piano player, and then he actually started doing it, and he loved it. Started making money doing it. I just so many different examples of when I used to just help a person take their passion and teach them how they can make money off of doing it. So that's when I started How to Discover Your Life Purpose newsletter. Grew a little tribe of people, and I did pretty well with that. I had a little podcast every week. Like I said, it wasn't called podcast, but every week I talked to people who had discovered their purpose and was living their purpose out. And so it was really, and that's what I'm going to be doing here on this. I'm going to be talking to millennials who have discovered the knack of business, and particularly in the network marketing industry, because I just believe so strongly in the network marketing industry. And let me tell you why the network marketing get a bad rep. Because they don't want you to know about this industry. They want you to think it's something bad. Because if you learn about it and it doesn't have that negative connotation associated with it, you realize that you can make a lot of money in this industry. They want you to be an employee. Don't want you to have your own business. And it's easy to get this because when you start thinking about like owning a McDonald's, it costs a lot of money to do that. So the average person is not even going to look in that direction. It costs like $1.2 to $2.5 million to start a McDonald's. And what's crazy is you have to put up that money, and the most you can make is like $250,000 a year owning that franchise. I don't get that. I'm going to put up $2 million to make $250,000 when I can get in network marketing free or $100 or the tops 5,000. That's the biggest, most I've been seeing in the network marketing organization. And I can make $250,000 in a month. Like, I don't get that. But all of these franchises, you have to put up a large sum of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, in order to start the franchise. So the average person will think, well, I can't start a business. And they also tell you, you start another business, it costs a lot of money, too much money. So people think they can't do it. So they don't. But if you get network marketing and you can start your own business, then you don't, and you can make millions. They want you to not even look. They want you to not even look. Now, I have to tell you, it's not for everybody because a lot of people are lazy. If you're lazy and you don't want to put any work, I don't care what kind of business you have to put in some work. So if you're lazy, no business is going to work for you. If you rather just come home and watch TV, then fine. Then work, get a job, because that's what people with jobs do. They go to work, they come home, eat, and they watch TV till it's bedtime. Fine. Fabulous lifestyle is not for you. This is only for people who desire a fabulous lifestyle and would do whatever it takes to get that lifestyle. So this is like the 50 Cent version, get rich or die trying. So people that's not going to be lazy and sit around and do nothing, or people that's afraid to do something like, oh, I want to do it, but I'm afraid. Some people say, you know what, I can't do network because I'm not good at sales. Well, you basically is not really selling anything. You're really just recommending stuff to your friends and family and people that you might come across. That's it. So you don't have to really be in sales. And if it's a product that really benefits people, and that's the purpose of the network marketing. See, network marketing, what they do is like, okay, let's use McDonald's again. McDonald's pay millions and millions and millions of dollars every year for advertisement, for marketing and advertisement and promotion. What network marketing do is, instead of putting millions of dollars into marketing or public relations and advertisement, they just give the money to the people. Go out and spread the word. Word of mouth is the best way for any kind of product to be sold. So they just cut out all of the advertisement and they let individual people make the money. You advertise our business, you spread the word about our business, and we'll pay you. So instead of them paying millions of dollars to advertise, they pay millions of dollars to their reps. So that's just basically how it works. So, and you can get a piece of it. It's really simple. In fact, I belong to a team of people. We call ourselves the Dream Team. And we are helping people get started in network marketing right now for absolutely free. And when I say free, I mean you don't put up a dime. We have a training class where we teach you how to come in, how to pre-sell the products, and you take the money that you pre-sell the products with, and that's when you come into business. That's when you start making money. So it's what's so wonderful about it is because it kind of trains you how to reinvest in your business. Is what you have to constantly do. It's like a lot of people make some money and then they go spend the money that they make, but that's, you can spend the money, but you gotta budget it right. You gotta also always put money back into your business. That's how your business will grow. So listen, I just want to take this time. This is my first podcast. I don't want to be too long, but I want to come in and share with you who I am. I'm Auntie Dawn. Call me Auntie Dawn, and I'm Auntie Dawn to everybody, all the millennials, anybody out there, and even the older people, because this older people, you can take this information, you can run with it too. It's not just this, it's designed for younger people because that's who I want to target. Because I want to change the mindset of this generation. I want the millennials to change their mindset completely. I want them to no longer have that employee mindset. I want them to have that entrepreneur mindset, that fabulous lifestyle creation mindset. I want them to understand. I want them to change their life and the generation, because if they can change their life, like while their kids are young or while they don't even have kids, and their kids can grow up in that environment the same way the 1% children grow in an environment where they just automatically become rich because that's what they're programmed. No more lack programming into the people. Everybody programmed to believe that they can be prosperous and live an abundant lifestyle. That's my dream. That's my desire. I'm here, Auntie Dawn. Listen, like and subscribe and share. I want a whole big tribe of people, because I need to reach you and let you know that you can make millions of dollars if you want to, and it's not easy, but it's simple, and I want to show you how, and it requires that you to never get a job.